You're welcome to another episode of the Pod-Diff podcast with your host, Vex, as always, with my good buddy, Tuss Leopard. How are you, brother?
Good. How you doing?
Holding up, cannot complain. Here to bring another great week of Overwatch/Overwatch League content to the viewers, my guy.
Best. It's best thing in my week.
Best in the world that we do, you know?
Yep.
Another jam-packed Monday. By jam-packed, I mean not a whole lot, so we're just gonna talk.
There's just so much to talk about since last week.
Until when the game dies out, there's no Overwatch League until this weekend, and the World Cup is solidified. There's not a whole lot to go over. We have a couple things though. That's why we're here today.
Yeah. We can always come up with something to talk about.
Absolutely, we can ramble if anything else.
Yeah. I mean, like for the game, nothing's changed since last week. Oh, since the last time we said anything about it. Like, no patch notes, no even new blog posts, no nothing. Like, they had something on YouTube, like a live stream talking about Flashpoint a little bit more, but it's nothing more than I said last time. They just wanted to try to push the idea of next season being the big thing. But
this is a filler arc right now.
Yeah.
We're setting up for the next one, which is fine. We'll get through it.
Yeah,
I completed the battle pass, so that's done.
Yeah, I got a venture earlier. That's too funny.
I think I did as well. So now we just patiently wait, sir.
Yeah, slowly. The World Cup nothing's been changed. I think Dante's on USA now.
I don't even know what his role is. They put Dante as Dante.
That
could have been a meme for all we know.
Just
been screwing around.
It could be. I have no idea. He's on like that esports team now.
He is Maryville. He's probably gonna roll some folks. Honestly,
he is.
They said it's gonna be like smurfing.
He is an OG. He might not be in the league right now, but he's still one of the best.
And by the end of this season, he could very well be picked up, depending on what happens.
Oh yeah. He talked about like how he wanted to like be done with it, kind of, but like you never know. Things change.
That itch could always come back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All of a sudden, he gets asked to join a certain team, where he's not the only tank. He's like, maybe.
Like if Atlanta called tonight, he'd be there tomorrow. I'm almost certain.
I'm actually positive Gladiators would have kept him if they could have. I just don't think their budget was there for him. I think it's like
Lads is dying as an organization. Like legitimately, they're talking. You know, they're talking about combining leagues. Like Activision is talking about combining like the COD League with the Overwatch League. So like, the Boston Breach is the COD League team. So they would either be the Boston Uprising or the Boston Breach. They would just share the same name. So they're talking about the Glads team, the Guard or something, and then I know there's the Guerrillas for the COD League. That might be the saving grace for the Glads. They might actually have a little more funding.
Oh, I hope the best for him. I don't want to see him go.
No, for sure.
Chengdu.
Rest in peace, Chengdu.
I don't think they're ever coming back until China gets Overwatch again.
That's upsetting.
Yep.
I like Chengdu too. They're always wacky.
Yeah, but they bye now. They're gone. But you know who isn't gone?
Who's not gone?
Vegas.
Vegas isn't gone. You're right. Unfortunately.
Somehow.
Someone's paying their bills.
Who's paying? We lose Chengdu, but we keep Vegas.
The Valiant stuck around since they hadn't moved teams. The only thing they've done is they went to APAC and back. That's all they've done.
True. I don't.
No one believes in them.
I even after the changes for Vegas' roster, I still think they're the worst team. I don't even think it's like. Don't get me wrong. Valiant's bad, but I still think Vegas. I think Valiant could literally win a map, while I think Vegas.
I don't know. I might disagree with you. I think maybe they're still gonna be bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm still agreeing with that. But they squeak out a win or two. They made changes. That's what's good, at least.
Oh yeah, they made changes. I mean, like they could win against Valiant. They could win against.
Did Valiant make changes?
I doubt they
I don't
did.
think they did.
They did not.
Yeah.
All they gotta do is shut down Seeker, and they're beat. Yeah. Can Dove or Knife do it?
There's talks that Seeker's going to Vancouver anyway.
If that's true, then I do think
Valiant shut down the Valiant for the season.
Yeah, Valiant's gonna be the worst in the season if that happens.
And this is all with respect. I love the players, however you say it.
Oh yeah.
It is what it is, right? Not everybody's the best.
Someone's gonna be the worst when there's only so many teams. Like someone's going to like. You're a league team, but you're still the worst league team. I do think Valiant would be the closest one to it, though. I don't think there's any other team that comes close to these people. Like
NYXL being a step above them, that's not saying a whole lot, but they showed flashes of being good. They pressed Chalk, who have their own issues, to their limit, and took a couple maps off of. Was it Houston? I know they had a big, like not an upset because they didn't win, but they had like a big push against a really solid team, if I'm not mistaken.
I am not sure. Where can I? They don't keep good records on the Wikipedia.
They don't.
Last match they played, according to Wikipedia, was in 2020.
Oh yeah. Last compliment match.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe. Let's see what Overwatch.com says.
While you do that, I would like to preface that this episode we will be giving our predictions for the second half of the season. Going through the teams and predicting how, regarding their changes, if they made any, will they be a better or worse team than what they were before?
My prediction: Vegas is still the worst. Until Seeker's gone from Valiant, Vegas is still the worst.
I'll take the opposite side of the coin, and I say Vegas takes a step above Valiant. So Valiant being the worst team.
As long as Seeker's there, second Seeker leaves, yeah, I fully agree. But I think Seeker is just good enough to make him not the worst by himself, with the other team being okay.
You got to get World Cup Seeker though, depending on how he comes back into, you know what I mean. Not saying he's a bad player, but it's tough, man. He's been eating a World Cup though, so maybe he's hit that next gear.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't. He did fine on the World Cup.
No, absolutely. He was the who did he played for Canada?
Yeah,
I believe he's Canadian.
Yeah, Canada. I mean, Canada made it.
No, they had it. I mean, they still obviously they made it, so they still have a solid roster.
Oh, NYXL did good against Toronto.
That's well.
Toronto still won.
I'll speak about Toronto when we get to Toronto.
I'm looking at all the NYXL from last and
NYXL also dropped Halo and crap.
Halo
Lep. I almost called him Lastro. Lep.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they have planned over there.
I bet they have Poke and Hope planned. Who do we think's better? This guy. Sure it does.
I mean, they were already trying to run creative with bits on support and crap. They're cooking up something weird over there in New York. They've always been weird though. They could never build a decent roster around Jonak and just I don't know what management looks like over there, but it seems rather odd.
I have no real idea about it. I'm looking at I think Shockwave might be enough to like keep them ahead of Valiant in like Vegas.
That's
because right now I'm thinking like Valiant hasn't changed, so Valiant's only option is to either beat, like have done enough work together that they can beat NYXL and move up a spot, or not suck enough against the new team of Vegas so they don't go down a spot. I can't see them going up more than that. So can XL keep valiant, whatever. That shitty ass team that might have the worst record, because they went what is it? Last season they had no wins, right?
Yeah.
And this season they have no wins so far. They would be the worst team, worst record team if they don't win one this season.
Yep, it'll beat out Shanghai, right?
Yeah, they'll have the worst record in all
tough.
of Overwatch history if they don't win one match.
Hey, you'll be a part of Overwatch history. On
you're
the wrong
right.
side of it.
Yeah, you're right. It's like, yep, that's why you don't do what they do. I don't know what they're doing wrong, but something they're doing wrong. You can't tell me you go 2 years without winning a match and you're doing something right.
Overwatch League, it's a mixture of the owners not wanting to pay certain people and then management just building some random team with the money they do have. You have to kind of put a lot of different levels of skill of players together. I also really think NYXL believed in Fitz and Creative more than they had.
Yeah, I think Creative isn't bad. I think Fitz is, I don't want to say overrated, but he's not.
Fitz needs a co-star. He's not a one punch. He's definitely the second fiddle type of player.
Yeah.
He's shown that his whole career with Profit,
He's done a good job with somebody, but he can't do it all himself.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
It is.
It's just he's not the like the star player.
He's just not the guy, and that's fine. Not everybody can be the guy. Now they just gotta find the guy.
Yeah.
That's what every team's struggling for, really. Find the guy.
Oh, I mean, also Kellen is their only tank.
Boy, Kellen. Oh my goodness.
He's a tank player.
He definitely picks tank.
That
is for sure. Definitely has loaded up that character once or twice.
Yeah. Did he practice? Maybe. Ain't much to say about Kellen besides he's just a tank player. He might clutch something every once in a while, but never enough to win a lot. They do fine against certain teams in certain comps, but Kellen isn't the super flex tank here.
And it's more of a I don't really think they believed in him that much, but it's more of you can't fight anyone else.
Yeah, like you said, it's a mishmash of everything. I don't know.
We have the next team. We spoke about the 3 bottom teams so far.
Yeah, those are easy.
If anything, they jump up, down one, and I'm not saying it doesn't matter because seeding is obviously important, but at the same time, you're talking about a team that has 1 win to 0 wins. It's tough to give you an exciting conversation about that. I'm sorry, because a lot of them didn't make changes. The only thing we can say is that maybe the
Vegas might.
Eternal might be a little better, maybe.
Yeah,
we don't know. That's
we don't know how the players are gonna go because they all a couple of them came from contenders teams, so we don't know how they're gonna adjust. And then at the same time, we also don't know they don't have the scrimmage time that other teams have. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it's gonna take much scrimmage time to beat LA. I just don't. I don't think it's gonna take much scrimmage time. But at the same time, they're still a team that if you can't handle Seeker and you can't handle a certain way they play, you're still not gonna beat them. They are a league team.
Yep.
You're pulled from contenders. You are by standard the closest thing to a contenders team. If we pulled the right contenders team, you would be in contenders.
I mean, look at it. Look at the East qualifiers. There was some contenders teams giving league teams a run for their money. I'm pretty sure Dynasty lost to 2 different.
Dynasty lost to 2 different ones. Shanghai lost to 1. It was and they're better than Vegas.
Yep.
I'll say it. They're better than Vegas. Vegas could lose.
Who we got next?
I don't know that would be next. Which one? I was thinking someone in the East. Would it be Shanghai or Seoul?
I feel we'll talk about Shanghai.
Shanghai. Okay. I was like, I don't know.
I would give Seoul the boost above Shanghai. We're trying to go in order from bottom to top, but it's
what
tough with judging. Yeah.
Yeah, what we would say is top to bottom. Because like I want to give Seoul the benefit of doubt over Shanghai.
Especially with Shanghai's moves.
Yeah.
Completely pulled Fleta from the team, is now an assistant coach. They're still. God, I don't know if they even have a complete roster at the moment. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't see them upgrading in any way. They'll probably be stuck in the same position, if not a worse position. If they get an actual tank player, maybe they're a little bit better off. And that's no shot at Fleta. It's just, how do you make one of the world's best DPS go to tank all of a sudden? And maybe he wanted to, or they just talked him into it. Shanghai is always cooking up a little bit something crazy over there, and it just didn't work out. So I see them moving pretty much laterally into the second half. I don't think they'll surprise anybody. I don't think they're gonna come for a top spot. They'll probably just sit pretty at the bottom.
See, I actually want to give them a slight benefit of that because I don't think Fleta is good. Let's just say it right now. I think
that's an MVP, sir.
MVP. Yep, and yep.
Champion.
Yeah, not this season.
No,
not this fucking season. Is he in league? I don't think so.
I mean, he is. He's just an assistant.
He's an assistant, sure. I mean, like, I think Fate can do what they need this season over what Fleta could do.
Oh, I don't disagree with that at all.
I don't see the Fate pickup as any way negative. I truly think they've done nothing but improve, and I could see them not being the worst in the East. In all honesty, I could see it being
them taking the jump over Dynasty.
Yeah, because if we had to pick the bottom two,
or
it is Dynasty.
Is it Dynasty or Dallas?
True.
I think it's Dynasty probably, but still, even then,
I think it's close.
Both teams are really disappointing.
Yeah, it's like so. If they were to go against Dallas, who would be their actual competition? Like Sparkle? Hanbin's not bad. I think Hanbin's a good tank.
No, I think Hanbin's dogging Fate in a takeoff.
I'll give it that.
That really what happened was, and
I think the support line for
it's not last year, and Hanbin's not. He went from having the best support line in the entire game to
you guys.
Yeah, you know, and there's no shot at them. It's just like, how do you live up to the greatest support line in the game? Like,
yeah, it's such a good support line. They're number one this season on a completely different team. They're still number one. Like, it is that good of a support line. Like, they're able to say like, yep, we're that good of a support duo that we can still be number one on different teams.
And I'm not saying Hanbin's bad. He's great, but it's like. It would be amazing to go in there and know you'll never die.
Yeah,
that support line is just that good. Now you're used to that play style, and now you have to learn with these new guys.
The whole season have been like, go in, we got you. I got Nano, go in. Now it's like, whoa, it's back up. Every time it's like back up. Like shit, I like, and once you go in, sometimes like, well, I don't have the option of.
And then Sparkle and Edison do what they can. Edison has definitely taken a step back from his playoff performance. That's disappointing. The meta, I just don't think benefit. Which I can say, we make that with a lot of teams. Meta just doesn't benefit a lot of people. But then they still have to play. So
yeah, like everyone, there's a few teams that meta.
And it really shows who the meta benefits. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Who would be next?
You want to stick with the Seoul Dynasty and stuff like that?
Is it Dynasty or Toronto?
I think Dynasty still works.
Dynasty? That's fair. No, that's fair.
I'm not
Dynasty made some changes. They cut their temporary contract with Yeonjun, right?
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, Yeonjun.
Yeah,
Yes, Yeonjun.
And I was actually excited to see him there, and it was a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. They made a couple other changes I can't remember off the top of my head. I wish I had more. Should have had pulled up more for this.
Okay.
But it's another team. When you're at this bottom part, you can only really say they like at least the Eternal made there's Infernal. Excuse me. No. Eternal. Paris. Vegas. That team made some changes. But I don't see any of Seoul's changes moving upward any. Now again, it is the East, and the East is a little weaker, so maybe they do take a step up slightly. But are they really competing with the Spark? Or are they really competing with
Charge?
The Infernal or Charge?
No, I think them three are the top three this whole season. I don't think they're gonna move out. They might rotate spots, don't get me wrong, but they're not gonna be out.
No, Seoul gonna fall to 4.
I think Seoul got lucky to beat Infernal. In all honesty, and they haven't been able to replicate that magic they had then, so I have no reason to think they're gonna do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I do think what was the best. They've had no one really. Easy Han joined the team.
Oh yeah, that could be a pickup, but again, like I said, I don't think it's game changing.
Yeah, I don't like. He's literally, he's probably the hit scan player, and we're not in hit scan meta, my guy. We're just like you're gonna be great when it's your meta. If it's your meta,
I know it's just so important. Like it might not be. We might see Sombra all the way to the championship.
No, please no. Yeah, it could absolutely happen, and he definitely does not need to play the Widow or the Ashe or anything like that into that. Nope, don't do that.
There's maybe you'll see an Ashe on maybe 1 to 2 maps. Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, but technically right now they don't Prophet is the other DPS, so can Prophet carry? Can Prophet actually carry? And they are one of the few teams with a double tank, so they can flex if they need to. But I literally don't think anything's good enough to how's it? I think Sombra's so good it makes the other two it makes the best tank Winston, because Sombra's always gonna dive. Doesn't mean Winston can dive. The best partner for Sombra in a dive meta is Tracer, and what's the best thing against Tracer right now? Casty. So maybe if you get the best Casty in the world, they might be able to counter a mid-level Sombra team. But Sombra's so strong that even the best Casty against the best Sombra's gonna always win.
Mm-hmm.
So their best hope is Easy Han just gets really good at Casty, and Void just go in on whatever they need to do.
Even then, if you run the mirror, and because Prophet's a phenomenal Tracer, you run the mirror. It's yes, he might be able to duel the other team's Tracer depending on who they're playing. He should, but someone's got to defend the back line. While also the back line having to worry about, like you said, for some Winston meta, Void jumping in depending on what he's doing, or if they're running Belsaria on the ball, or what they would do. So then Easy Han, like you said, Easy Han's got to learn quick to be that. If they're gonna run the hit scan, he's gonna have to run the hit scan.
Yeah, I don't think they should play the Sombra. I think the best thing for this team to do is literally just what are you good at? Hit scan, Tracer, do that. Don't think about what's kind of Sombra. No, you're not gonna beat the Sombra meta against.
It's way too late. It's way too late to be we're gonna learn Sombra now. It's way too late. Play with your best out.
Yep, just commit to the Casty, and just be if you can't make it work, you wasn't gonna make the other one work. Okay, don't hate on yourself. Literally, the meta's not for you. Just do the best you can on what you're good at, and just hope the meta changes. Because I honestly think if he just needs to learn Casty, he needs to be the best at Casty in the world, and they might have a chance of literally climbing to the top of their region, somewhat. But we'll see how that goes. This is all speculation.
Yeah,
this is a lot of. This is all a lot of faith.
This could all change tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, But hey, I hope the best for him.
Absolutely.
He's all for Dreamers. He did a great job.
Oh, he did.
So like, I hope the best for him. He was on Valiant at one time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Next being Toronto Defiant.
Yeah, I'll give that. Yeah.
Oh man, Toronto. American Tornado, no more. That was my like Cinderella team start of season. I just loved them so much, and now half the roster's gone. But what they brought in is looking very promising. So this, if we were doing any kind of rankings, if you want to give like a power rankings, you know what I mean? I believe they would have the up and up on. Not saying they're going to be the top team, but I think they would definitely have an upside. Contrast to the beginning of the season.
It's hard to put anything into Toronto because I thought that when they first had this team, and now it didn't work, and now they have Hydron and Spectra on DPS. Sermajet support, but I don't think we're gonna see him anytime soon.
If he can get his goddamn visa, bro, help this man.
Opener and UV, and then Kaluch's tank.
Well, they need to swap UV to tank, and then they're the best team West. We're seeing that happen in front of us.
Yeah, I mean Kaluch, I think is gonna be a good tank. UV's best tank in the world, though. Like, UV's best tank in the world, but like. It's all about how Spectra and Opener come in, right? So there's that new people on this team that like it's all, and these guys are all friends. Speedly, OG, Sam, they're all friends.
Yep.
Like
it's hard to get better camaraderie than being best homies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. Like in all honesty, changes to be made. It sucks that it happens, but it needs to happen. You weren't doing good. You literally had every like. It's just teams like Crutch is just the like pressure. Like we have a lot of pressure for you to do good. Well, we didn't clutch anything. Okay, you two. We have a lot of pressure on all of you to work good. Is well, we can't do it. And also it's might be the what is it like? Is that morale gonna be dead because they lost homies? Like
they could be. That crap's got to be heartbreaking. At the end of the day, it's a business, but like you're like, dang. The dude I was rooming with is gone now.
Yeah. Like you literally look at it and like, yep, these are not.
You brought up a great point that around the pressure of it, because this was predicted to be Toronto's always had roster issues. This was predicted to be Toronto's best, their most well-made roster going into the season. They already had the history together. They had American Tornado. They seem to have it all together. Like you said, they're the best of friends. They should have that teamwork, and teamwork didn't make the dream work. It just was unfortunate. Yeah. And now you're bringing in Korean speakers into a mixed roster, which I mean, Kaluj did it last year with Jock. I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm sure they can all do it. They've all played with these guys before, but it's just you got half a season. You know what I mean? You have half a season. That's a lot of pressure. You already got the pressure being Toronto's best made team, being the guys that are already on the roster, like Kaluj and them. Now you're bringing in Spectra and Opener. You're like, hey guys, fix this team.
Yeah, you're like, these guys are supposed to be the best, but we're gonna replace the best with you two. And like, it's like, yeah, we don't expect you to do everything, but you gotta do better than what they did. It's like they
threw you on a sinking ship with a bucket.
Yeah,
and start paling water.
And what's bad is like the people that's already on the team are like, well, this sucks, and then the new people are like, well, this sucks because you can feel the vibe when you're in like playing with each other. It's not gonna take long. It's like I don't know what's actually the problem here. I really do not know. Each individually seem like they're good, and then when something they just don't work together, and they're like, yep, why did that not?
But I don't know. On the upside, I'll give it to them. Maybe Spectre and Opener come in here, and they change the team around. I don't think they're gonna carry it, but maybe they give that like motivation back to Hydron and Kaluj and Ultraviolet, which Ultraviolet's already been playing great all season. Maybe they turn it around. That Cesarus was he was a previous shot coach. Maybe they go in the lab and they're like, let's figure this out. Change it because they don't have a set style like other teams do.
Yeah, they can do
And
it.
if they did, it wasn't working, obviously.
Yeah.
So you come in here and we're like, what are we gonna do? We have half a season to figure out. And if it doesn't work out, whatever, you just go into it. Now they have a legitimate excuse. They have half a new roster. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. I apologize.
No, you don't have to apologize. Do you think that's the problem though? They're so flexible that they're not committing to anything. Because everyone else seems like they commit to something. They're either like, okay, we're gonna play Sombra. Okay, we're not gonna play Sombra. Because that's the question now: to play Sombra or to not play Sombra.
Mm-hmm.
You admit like, okay, we're not gonna be the best unless we play Sombra. But if we don't play, but we can't play Sombra good enough to actually matter. So we might as well play what we're good at, and that's what they've been doing. Toronto, it's not their meta. Like Sombra's not their thing. In all honesty,
and they kept trying to make it work.
Do they think they're just flex gods? Did all of them just think they're the flex gods?
I think so. I think they put a lot into Kaluj. I mean, not Kaluj, Hydron, excuse me. Hydron, because they tried him on Sombra for a little bit. They're like, crap, we're lacking on the other DPS. So we'll try Sam on Sombra. But Sombra's just not Sam's character. Then you try Speedily on Sombra. You're like, crap, now we need Hydron or Tracer. Now you swap it, and it's just too much. Now someone's got to play Echo. It's just, like you said, they want to be more flexible than they are.
Yeah, like it would have been better. It's like, hey, we're just not playing Sombra. We're not gonna worry about it. Just go. What do you want, Tracer? Hit scan. Go for it. Pick it up. I believe in you.
My thing is like you said, they shouldn't play the Sombra meta, and I get it. Like if you go against Atlanta, and obviously you can't mirror it, so regardless you're gonna lose. So just focus on the weaker Sombra teams.
Yep.
Because there's only 2 to 3 decent Sombra teams. Their teams are all trying to make it work. That we talked about it, I think, for like the last 2 weeks. There needs to be more creativity in the league. Yeah. Instead of trying to force what is quote unquote meta, just go throw some crap against the wall till it sticks.
Yeah. No one wants to no one wants to just admit to themselves like, if we commit to what we're good at, we're never gonna have number 1. Like, you're right. But you wasn't gonna have it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Just play what you're good at. Try some new stuff. It's whatever you're doing is not working anyway. It doesn't matter. I hope this is what it takes to make Toronto do something. Hey, if Spectre and Opener just commit to one thing and it's like, okay, if they're just told like, hey, we're just gonna play this way now, it might work. Because right now they don't have anyone to like fall back for the DPS. Like. You don't mess up Spectre because you want Hydron to play 3 different things. Like, hey, Hydron, can you play this? Spectre, can you swap off so I can swap? No. Just tell like, hey, Spectre, play what you're good at. Hydron, you fill the gaps. Okay, you want to be a flex god? Fill the gaps. oh, he played Echo. Hydron, play something that's not Echo. like, don't worry about the Sombra stuff. I think that's like they keep flexing on everything, and every team, not all teams, just not their meta. But Toronto, it felt like you could see it's not their meta.
Slamming your head to a brick wall.
Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe that's more me being more too harsh on them because I had high hopes. But I hope the best for them. I hope the best for even the players that aren't on there. And Speedly, Sam, OG, like they're not bad individually. They're not. I just don't think this is their meta, and this just didn't mesh well as a team. In all honesty, I hope the best for them though.
Absolutely. London.
Oh yeah, London. Oh yeah, they got changed today.
Yep, Scarippa.
They say who? Is there any rumors who's filling him in?
Not that I've seen. Again, you want to talk about a team that's just refusing to accept who they are? It's London. How do you all last season you play May, Ryan, Rush, then now this season you're like, nah, we're not gonna do it. And I get it, it's tough, and you're gonna lose some games, but you're not, like you said, you're not gonna learn Sombra. This crap isn't gonna work. You're not gonna complete your whole roster around. You just stick to what you know, and you just force it because you're not gonna win everything. You're not gonna be the top seed, but there's definitely teams out there that if you played your way against their way, you're gonna win.
I fully agree. But what I said, who's gonna fill them in? It looks like they already have a full roster. They can't, if they miss somebody to doom, they're just gonna have to throw in another manager like they did last time, I think. But like they have a full team, 2 supports, 2 DPS.
Yeah.
Oh, and Sky Ripper and Lethal already have new teams. Sky Ripper's on Ex Oblivion and Lethal's on Afterlife.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Lethal's one of the rumors to Vancouver.
On this one it says Afterlife, but
no, you're probably right. I was just saying he was one of the rumors.
Yeah. Hey, he could probably still get picked up.
Absolutely.
It's probably going off a rumor that he's going here anyway. At some pool. I don't know, but that's just what it says on the website.
Mm-hmm.
It could absolutely be a lie. I don't
have a lot to say from either.
Yeah, you have the most to say before for this thing, because I don't think they're gonna change. I think this is how it's gonna be. They're just good enough to not be the worst, but they're not good enough to be anything more than a mid-level team at best.
They were that dark horse team last year that everybody really loved. Like, of course, Heidi's loved, Backbone's loved. Like, they're a good group of guys.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like their teams have kind of caught on to that dark horse play style. So now you actually have to come up and show something. And now I think they're so stressed about that they're trying to force a meta, just like Toronto's trying to do, that's just not theirs. And I can't wait for a meta shift so we can stop just saying this. But it's the beauty, just the way of the beast. We just have to talk about what we're seeing. This isn't their meta, so they're gonna have to figure out either to go back to last year's playstyle or do something different. It's just not working. And as of right now, they're gonna stay in the same boat they were already in. I don't see them changing much at all, if I'm honest, unless something drastic happens like a meta shift.
Has to be a meta shift. There's no way anything that's going to change their position is going to be anything more than a meta shift of some team losing good characters or good players. Like it's it. Like I don't.
Vancouver next. Or Glads. Probably Glads,
Vancouver.
right?
Vancouver.
You would pick Glads over Vancouver?
Right now? Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what? Hey, you're right, sir. Due to recent events, I'm gonna pick Glads.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. I forgot about this until just you brought it up.
I did too.
And I'll be honest with you. Vancouver might be one of the worst teams in the West right now.
Hey, if the rumors are true and they get Seeker though.
If they get Seeker, Valiant's now the worst. Vancouver's now mid-level at worst. But that's it.
Yeah, that's shooting for a lot though. That's if Valiant even get rid of Seeker.
I don't think they should, but at the same time,
think they should.
I don't really care what that team does. I really would like Vancouver to
get Seeker, yeah.
But at the same time, Vancouver might have like terrible publicity and like a lot of stuff. Vancouver.
Oh, they're struggling right now. I feel bad for Sugar Free.
I feel
he finally gets his chance in the league, and this is what happens.
I feel bad for Punk, Faith, Crimzo, and Sugar Free. I feel super bad for them. By the way, this team has only one DPS player, and it's Sugar Free. They don't have fifth one.
He's on vacation right now.
Sugar Free's on vacation. The other one's on trial.
Yeah, definitely on trial.
Probably not. Trial by fire. Yeah, but I don't. How well can you judge a team when you don't know the fifth player, and they don't have enough players to actually play?
I think where they sit now, how we described it, I think that's the best we can say. They get an N/A not available until we see more.
Yeah, this is it. Like honestly, I would where we labeled Vancouver just right now would be where I would put them if they didn't make any changes. But they had to make changes because things happen. And guess what? Now you don't have a second DPS. Now, if you don't pick up a good one, guess what? You suck. You're just gonna suck. I hate to say it. What they lost was a good player.
Yep.
Bad person, good player.
That's all we can speak about, you know.
So, Glads, yeah.
Glads.
Glads, yeah.
Glads dropped Dante. They picked up. Help me out here. They picked up what they called an actual tank player, which is a little disrespectful. Dante. Marvel.
Marvel's Marvel probably is one of the very flexible tanks.
Absolutely.
So, that's what Glad it needs because they don't have enough funding to buy anything more than one tank, and Marvel is a good flex tank.
He was on sale, so they picked him up.
Hey, more power to Marvel.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
But yeah,
I think this could be. They could be on the up and up. I'm not saying they're a top seed, but from where they're currently sitting, I see them moving up a couple spots, especially with Vancouver being the issue they're in. We'll probably speak about Shock next. We don't know what they're doing. You know, Toronto's, all these teams are making so many changes, and I believe this is an actual necessity change for Galads. So I can see them taking a couple steps forward, hopefully.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I think Dante's fantastic at the game. I think he performs at a pro level. I don't think the meta was his thing. I don't think the way they used him as tank is his thing. They need a better flex tank than what they had, because Dante can only play a couple tanks, which he's probably worked hard to learn the tank role. Like, there's people that don't understand anything that are actual tank players from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2 because there's only one tank now. And you're having to learn that and learn the new role and all of this. And I have props to Dante. It's probably very hard to what he did, and he probably worked very hard to even be worth what he was. He just needs more time to be at the level everyone wanted him to be. And Marvel's already at the level. Marvel's already done it. He's done what they needed him to do. Like I said earlier, I think Dante, if Glad had the funding, Dante wouldn't be off that team. Marvel would just be on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they didn't. I think it was a necessity from the have to cut Dante just to get the funding to buy Marvel. I truly believe that's what happened. Because I feel like Dante was not just fired because he was that bad. I think they just needed another tank, and they just had to let one person go. I do see their Glads going up because Marvel is literally just
a more flexible tank position.
More flexible tank. That's it. That is truly it. Dante just didn't have enough time, which is respectable to him.
Washington?
You think Washington's above Glads?
Actually, we go Shock then Washington. I think Washington's a better team than Shock as of right now.
Fair enough. I'll go with
that. As a Shock fan, I'm sucking up the copium and the hopium that we haven't made any changes announced yet, and the way we're posting on social media, we won't be, which is fine by me. I said that at the beginning of the season. If we want to, we should just stick with this through thick and thin. Every season can't be a championship season, and I'm fine with that. A lot of people would love to hate on the Shock, what have you. It's cool, it's whatever, because we're not in that champion mix after having, second place finish last year, and that's fine. I'm cool with building young talent. I just don't like all the rumors surrounding the team if nothing's gonna happen. It makes you anxious as a fan. They could make a huge jump with this time passing. Some people have had some more time to play. I don't know if there will be changes made, or they could fall even further down. I think that team is an anomaly right now, where you can't really judge it. And I think copium is a big part of it for a lot of us.
Hey, it's your team. I'm gonna let you say what you want to say. I ain't gonna say anything against you. You still have the best DPS player in the world. Proper's still the best. And every time you see Shock play, you can tell he's the best. Absolutely. Finn Dame, stop rooting Shock.
Please, for the love of God, stop rooting Shock.
I think Finn just needs more time.
Yeah, I think he it's the same thing we talked about with Hanbin earlier. When you go from your other support being Pilot's probably the GOAT of Overwatch, by all means, him, just his longevity and his actual performance. When you go from that being your other support to love you, Vinde, Mr. Feeds a lot, you know what I mean? It's just a mess right now. And I'm gonna keep holding on to Copium. I'll do. Washington?
Do you think Washington's better or Boston? Washington or Boston?
I'm gonna say Washington then Boston.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Washington dropped FD God, I believe. I believe that was their only drop.
I mean, I can't.
But you do that, I'll just rant about them. I think Alfie's great. Flora's pretty good. We talked about that last episode with their damage number or their elim numbers with that game we played. They're really a dark horse team. They got like that chip on your shoulder, if you will. They play well together. They're another team that they do what they want. It's not necessarily just meta surrounded, and they play well. They'll be a great middle of the pack team. Might give some upper teams a run for the money. I don't see them winning anything, but they're definitely a solid team, and I'm excited to see what they do in the next half.
I absolutely. He phrased it the best when he says the dark horse team. I truly agree. It is the dark horse team because they're rated higher than I thought they'd be. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, Washington's probably gonna be bottom 4.
Yeah,
but they're not. They're not even close. I don't see them, like you said. They didn't have much changes. FD God left team. Donghu. I don't. I apologize. I don't know pronunciation. Got picked up. I think that's an improvement. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think FD God's super good at Lucio. I think anyone that is a one trick in this game is going to stop being as good as they used to be.
Yeah,
as characters come out.
It's especially with how teams are wanting to pay their players and stuff like that. One tricks just don't have much survivability in the league anymore.
And FD God just seems that to me. And I don't mean any disrespect to him because he's probably a fantastic player. But is he Overwatch League level on other supports? And I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The team didn't know. Like they cut him and then put Donghun. I say it looks like I'm pronouncing it wrong because it's DONG hyphen HUN.
Donghun sounds right. Somewhere in there. I think you're right.
Yeah, Donghun, because that's his actual last name.
Yeah. Apologies we're two very Caucasian males. Apologies.
This is the tannest I've ever been. Okay?
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. So like, I think this is improvement for a team. I think they can give Boston a run for the money.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie. I think this is an improvement. I don't think they have double tank on here just in case they need flex or something different. Meta changes slightly. They are able to keep up with teams that you wouldn't think they are able to. More power to them. I have nothing bad to say about them. They're borderline great.
Yep, borderline. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Borderline great.
Yeah.
Very good.
Like honestly, if they just picked up like one person or just one of their people just popped off all of a sudden, it's like
great. Yeah.
Like we could have seen this coming. It's like, of course, Washington deserves to be here.
And that's why they get that dark horse tag, because I think at any time one of their players that you do outside of Alfie and Flora that you don't expect to have a great game, that team turns from good to great to where like crap, they're gonna win this series.
Yeah, like it just takes the tank or one of the supports just to like, oh yeah, you are that good. You're right. We're sorry.
We're sorry, sir. We weren't new to your game.
Yeah.
Boston is the only thing is they dropped striker. They're sticking with their team, which they should. God, I just wish they would get it together. A team is too good to be where they're at.
Boston didn't bust, I guess. That's something.
Boston fans, look me in my eyes. You're wasting Smurf. Give him back. This is ridiculous.
Hey, I mean, DK and Birdring are pretty good.
They're having a really... DK's always been that dude, and then Birdring came back and said, hey, I'm still that dude. It's just, it feels like something's just not connecting, and it's just not working. Because they always have decent matches. They'll be close, but it's like need someone to step up and pull this out, and it never happens.
I think, in all honesty, if I had to pick what I think they should do, is I think they cut Striker because they literally decided that Birdring Decay is just that good. They're like, yep, sorry, Striker.
I think they pulled in Striker as if Birdring didn't come back as good as he was, they would just put Striker in the way. Now Birdring's playing at his level, so they're like, Striker's got to go, which is fair.
Yeah. I don't have anything against. I think Striker's fine. I didn't have him as DPS, but it's just you have 2 better DPS, and like we're not gonna. There's like we don't see any meta where you come in and replace one of them. Like,
right.
Like there's no character you can do that they can't do just as good. So like that's it. But I think their support line is what they truly should have like worked on. I think Twilight's the best support on their team, and
I agree.
Doesn't really start. He doesn't really start
because they like that camaraderie of Izayaki and
Lee J
Gone, and I get it because they were a championship team. But when Twilight is as hot as he's playing, going into the mid-season madness, it was mid-season madness, right?
Yeah, it was mid-season madness. Yeah.
There's no way you don't let him run.
Yeah,
at least a little bit, man.
Yeah, I think Twilight technically has the best support record on this team by far, and like I hate to say it, but it showed how good Twilight was when Izayaki had to take time off because of medical reasons. I'm glad he's doing better though. I really am. But Twilight, he's like, Izuyaki's not here. We'll just accept Boston's gonna lose. Yep. Twilight just that good. Don't worry about it. The Twilight, don't worry about it. Yep.
Twilight carry, like actual carry.
Yeah, it's like Twilight, like you think it's gonna lose, and all of a sudden it's like, you know what? Twilight probably should start somewhere. Just a thought. Just like I want to say DJ, like in all honesty, like it's hard to say what like I think Twilight's better, but at the same time, like Izayaki is great, and I think they just I honestly think it should switch out Twilight for Izayaki, but like I understand why they don't, because they're both great, and like you're hoping one can just keep going. It's like I don't know. But he's hot. He's doing great. I think they should have just let him keep going until Easy. Like, hey, Izayaki, take another week off. It's okay. Exactly. It's okay. It's okay. Just make sure you're better. Twilight, it's your chance. Pop off.
Right.
Izayaki's gonna be out a few times. Okay. We're gonna like, oh, you know what? You do really good against these people. How about we put you like, no. What's happening? So like, I don't know. That's probably the only thing I think they should do. It's hard to like. I don't know. It's hard because you don't know. I don't really know what's wrong with this team. It feels like they should be top 3, top 2 teams, and then it's like you're not.
What is happening?
Not doing it. You're just not doing it. It's just like, oh, I guess that didn't work. I guess that didn't happen. I guess you're not that team.
Now this is the part I feel like I have an issue with. Soul Infernal, Guangzhou or Hangzhou. Charge first?
Yeah, I think Charge is it.
Charge, they make any changes? I don't believe so. They still have
no, it's the same thing.
Have Jimmy,
Piggy, Exernius, Far Away, and Chelsea 1.
Their DPS line is still solid to me. I'm a big Jimmy fan over here. Love how their social media team hypes up Jimmy. Love to see that. That crap is hilarious. And I'm not saying that in a way that he's a bad player, but something about his name being Jimmy and the way they hype him up, it's just the perfect mix to me.
He's the most literally Korean-looking dude you can meet.
Named Jimmy.
Named Jimmy, and it's something funny about it. Like, yeah, you can give me any Korean and be like, yeah, my name's Jimmy. It's like, is it really?
Is it really? Yeah. They still have Choice A1, which I believe is maybe a top 4 DPS player in the league. They didn't make any changes. This is, again, it's just one of them things of we're banking on them to have a better second half. They were inconsistent at times. And this is where they really need to lock in.
Jimmy's Chinese, by the way.
Okay.
Jimmy's Chinese. My bad. Not South Korean. Not Korean. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I just want to correct that. I was like, I didn't mean to insult Jimmy. If that's an insult. Like you literally, I don't know. I don't really care what you are. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was just like, South Korean team. That's South Korea.
Right, exactly. So it's just another roll of the dice if they become more consistent or not. Honestly, I don't have a lot to say about them other than.
Oh, I agree. Choice of One's one of the best DPS. I think Piggy's gotten a lot better. I think the bad thing for this team was coming and see how Piggy would do. How would Piggy truly do on this team? Because you think Choice of One's gonna be okay. You're not gonna go in there like, is Choice of One gonna clutch? Is he gonna bat? No, everyone thought Choice of One was gonna be fine. The support line's doing okay. They're mid-level to good, of course. I don't think they're bad. And Jimmy, you thought was gonna be okay. Piggy's where I think all the like hope was like at, like maybe he's good, maybe he's not, and he's proven himself. He's gotten better. He's getting good. I want to throw props to like his weight loss journey. He used to be like a big guy, and now he's pretty skinny compared to what he used to be. He's not even like chubby now. He's just average, which is good for him. Like honestly, but like Rick props. I think he's truly like. I think he's maybe not this season. I don't think it's this season, but if he continues to play and get as better and better over like the next year, I think he could be one of the better tanks if next year if he keeps improving at the rate he is. Because you came in like, oh, maybe let's see, like the charges maybe is Piggy, and now it's like, you know what, Piggy kind of proved himself. Let's see how the backline improves. You know, like Piggy's not the. I don't know. I think that he does a good job. I just want to say I'm proud of Piggy for being better.
Absolutely.
And honestly, they could.
They could definitely jump this.
I think I could see Charge, yeah, absolutely beating Spark or like Soul.
I think Infernal would be next. I think we all see Spark as the top team in the East. So Infernal would be next up.
Is it?
That's how I see it.
What's the record? I keep thinking Infernal has the better record. I don't know though. I might just have that wrong in my head. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't know. Spark got 3-1 by Boston. Inferno got 3-2 by Florida and 3-0 by Houston. I'm trying to look for a game for them, how they did against each other, but I don't know. In my head, they're closer than they are.
While you look, I'll speak about the Infernal.
Yeah.
It's obviously their DPS line are great with MM3 and Zest. They're really solid players. The East has a lot of really good DPS lines. Impressive. They do worry me the same thing with the charge, that they don't have enough consistency, and I feel like their team might be even slightly weaker than the charge currently, to where I could see in the next coming weeks the charge will take that jump to be second or even first team in the East, depending on how the Spark come out to play. But the Infernal, they stuck true. They're a decent roster. A lot of questions going into the season outside of the DPS line. They filled it pretty well. I really like Fix, I believe, and Link's really solid team. It's just they'll have to compete with the other big strong teams in the East, and that I think that's just their biggest concern is because they can obviously beat any other team in the East. It's just a concern of that loss to the Dynasty was a fluke. They weren't that.
Oh yeah, I think that's the biggest fluke. We'll go with Inferno next for sure. I don't have much to say. You kind of said everything
Mm-hmm.
there is to
Which
say
is
for him
fun.
because
We ain't got a whole lot
mainly,
to say on everybody because there's like a lot of it. If they didn't make changes or anything like that, a lot of it's just
either.
show me at this point. Now you have to show us.
Seoul's proven they can beat any team in these, like you said. So they just have to do it. They need to be more consistent at it. Don't lose the dynasty again, and then we won't doubt too much.
That'll lead to the Spark. Spark is a scary team. Leaving Shy, full Chinese roster. I love this team. I think with now they have the World Cup because the World Cup, the Chinese team is basically just the Spark. So you run that. It's even more reps for the team. I think they'll if Charge doesn't take that next step, or if Infernal doesn't become more consistent, I think Spark run away in the second half with the top team in the East.
I think I think Spark's so good that unless one of the two teams, like unless Charge or Infernal step up, Spark ain't gonna lose. I think Spark's pretty good compared to the East teams they play against. Like, it's a different question when playing against the West because it's different, like how they play and who they like scrim against. But because I think about like if Spark lost tomorrow to one of them two teams, am I thinking Spark did bad or did another team do good? Because I'm like, what happened? My first thing, like, what happened to Spark? How did they lose this? In that, like, I don't. Leave is great. Shy's great. Gooshway's great. The pineapple pickup for literally Spark. Yeah, the pineapple because Okay, so pineapple played for what is that continuous thing? Rhodes.
Yep.
They played the continuous 2023 spring series. He played DPS for them. He got picked up as a support player for Spark. Now they're at least not. I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why. I don't think Pineapple's truly gonna be better than Monk or Linksa. I think it's great to have a third anything. If I wanted, I think it's fine. Like it might be. Let's say one of the players has to do something one of the games. They have to, or they're sick or something like that. Pineapple is good enough to step into either role.
Serviceable.
And be like, we at least won't lose this because of me. We just might not win it because of me. So I like the pickup. Do I really know why they picked them up besides my idea of just having an extra player that can do two roles serviceable enough to not throw? I don't know. But I don't see them losing. Not with Shy, Leave, and Gooshway. That little trio right there. Because the support lineup's fine. Them three right there are pretty dang good together.
I believe we're down to the top three teams. I believe we spoke on everybody except for Florida, Atlanta, and Houston.
Florida, Houston, and Atlanta's all right left. Florida's next for sure.
Florida, they showed well in this first half. They just, I believe they're we talked about earlier being good to great. I think they're great, but they're not the best. So it's tough because they're right out of that upper echelon, which they could jump into it absolutely, depending on how things change and stuff like that. It's another instance of they got a serviceable Sombra. They don't have the best Sombra.
Yeah. And what's bad is that they don't have, like, when you think about it, Merit and Checkmate truly are like Merit's a better hit scan to me as anything else.
Yep. It's just not not the right time.
Nah, it's really, I think they could be number one. I just want to, because I have something to say about everybody because this is my team. I am the Florida fanboy. So, like, Sana, I love you. You do a great job. I hope the best for you in the World Cup. But I don't have anything to say about you because you don't play. And that's all I can say about you. Merit, you're fantastic DPS. Love you. Checkmate, love you. Checkmate's amazing. I actually like his I think he's a great tracer. maybe not the best in the world, but he's always good enough. And with a good like partner like Merritt, DPS partner, I think it works great. RuPaul has repeatedly stepped up to be the best support on that team. Like, period. Don't get me wrong. Chorong is great because he has some There's a couple times you see him just headshotting somebody. It's like Chorong just won that fight for him because he picked off somebody. RuPaul does a fantastic job. RuPaul got MVP of the Pro-Am. RuPaul has gotten player of the match in World Cup games multiple times. He's if there's anyone I think for a role star this year, I think RuPaul should at least be in that.
Love it.
It should at least be in that like question. Yeah, like I'm not saying he deserves the #1 spot here, but there's no reason RuPaul can't be like, you know what? He's done fantastic. What about him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to beat out when you're talking Violet, Chio, and Fielder.
Yeah.
But there's always, as long as you're in the conversation, I think you're doing right. Because if you're in the conversation with the greatest, like, you know what I mean? You're like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, I think that's what RuPaul at least deserves. Maybe not the top spot, but he is still a good reason why Mayhem's doing as good as he is. And then there's someone, which I personally think should get Rostar. I think someone has shown he can compete with almost any tank in the world. And honestly, I think if it wasn't a Sombra meta, someone could probably compete with Mayhem better. It just happens to be a Sombra meta. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Fearless is still the better Winston, but someone isn't going to. If Fearless was going to face if he was going to face another Winston, I think someone could be second place against him. Like, he could at least be in the running. I think someone should get Rollstar, in all honesty, because he's shown repeatedly multiple times that he's a reason they're doing great. I think that's all I have to say about Florida, in all honesty. Good job.
I have nothing to add. You know what I mean? I can't say it better than the Florida fan. So this would come to number 2 being Houston Outlaws. Another great team with a very serviceable Sombra, very, very good backline, very great tank.
Yeah, Fearless Fearless is best Winston in the world. It's the Winston meta. Falcon's a fantastic player. Whatever you put him on, sometimes. Happy's great. Happy's probably the weakest person on this team, and that's sad to say because he's probably fantastic and one of the best DPSs.
Happy proved in the recent playoffs that he can wake up when the team needs him to be. The team is so solid now, especially if he keeps up that level. And I'm hoping they have, which they had a great first half, but I really want to see them contest with the #1 spot.
It's enough to give Atlanta a run for the money by far, and they're not even. Especially with the backline, Vault and Shu is probably the best. I wouldn't say the best backline, but the best. I don't think Vault and Shu have been on the same backline together, have they?
Nope.
Consistently? Yeah, they're. This is like Chio and Fielder have been consistently practicing for 2 years now. These two are hey, how you doing? At first, now starting to play together, and they're still keeping up with their other backline. With practice, they could be better. Just usually you don't get that. You don't usually get the double the support backline just go together. You usually pull. I think that's a fantastic idea what Atlanta did. Hey, we want the best backline, and you two are it. We're not going to take you in one. We're going to take both of you or none of you. I think that's a fantastic idea. And Shu and Violet individually are some of the best players. Together, they're probably the second best backline.
It's just tough when you're competing with the
best
#1 best backline mixed with the #1 Sombra mixed with Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, honestly, last thing I want to say about Houston. Sorry, Gargoyle, you just don't play.
Yeah. It's tough when you're backing up Fearless in a Winston meta. You'll get your time.
He probably knew that. He probably knew that.
Yeah. He's just honing his skills right now, I assume. He's there for a reason, for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's probably for anything that's not the dive, honestly. But yeah, I guess Atlanta would be it. Hawk, you're the worst person on this team. And that's because I think I'm just gonna say statistically, I think every match or every thing they've lost, Hawks been in. Yep. I remember watching the Mid-Season Madness championship, and the one map they lost is because Hawk played tank. It's weird to say this. Their other tank is literally Donghawk. He's a rookie, right? This dude's a rookie of the year, and he's the best tank of this team. Okay, if there's a rookie of the year, it's Donghawk. I don't know.
I don't think it's close.
I think you can't be number one and everything you play all of a sudden you're not gonna be the best. Right. Like what?
There's not much to say. Lips probably front runner for MVP.
Yeah,
they have the best back line. They have the rookie of the year. They have if nothing changes, this team they just win.
They just win, yeah. Especially if the meta doesn't change, there's no reason for these guys to even
and as it goes on, we said Houston's the number 2 team. They took one map off of them, and that's because they put in Hawk. No disrespect to Hawk.
I hate to say it, but
just it is.
Yeah, it's like Hawk is. Yeah, I feel like if Donghawk would have been in there, they probably wouldn't have lost. Yeah, I think it would have been when a team. They are scary. It's weird to say it like that. I have a question for you. Okay, Chio and Fielder are definitely up there for Role Star, right?
Yep.
At some point, is it just easier to give it to it's hard to pick one over the other, in all honesty. I feel because it's one of those, they work together so well, you can't say one's better than the other.
You always think of them as a duo.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about Children Fielder. That's why they're so good. They've got so much practice with each other that they know what the other one's probably lacking any moment. It's oh, I'll do that. I'll do this. He's doing that. I know what he's doing. They probably know their rotations. He probably knows exactly.
Yeah.
He'll always take left exit and goes up this stair. I want to go right and they probably exactly know what the other one's doing, and they don't have to worry about it. They probably work together so much that they probably have a one-term thing for what they probably have a one-word notification for the other for them to I need you to do this.
They work off brainwaves at this point.
I feel
they speak telepathically.
So the question is it, are they just gonna give it to both of them? I think that's just what you do.
What, the Role Star?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
They both
if this stays this way, there's no way you give it to one without the other. So they both would be Role Stars.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't. It's so. It
feels lackluster to say it, but Atlanta. When you talk about tiers, you talk about who's a step above. Atlanta's more than one step above the rest of the competition. They're reaching a mile above the competition.
What's honestly is Mayhem and Houston probably gonna fight the closest for second. Houston's probably gonna win more times than not by far, but it's literally Atlanta, Houston, Mayhem, and then you can put the top 3 Eastern teams.
Yeah.
Austin, Washington, San, and Glads.
Mm.
It's.
If things don't change, the playoffs will be playing for who gets to be second.
Yeah. Atlanta's just gonna sweep. Unless someone's unless one of the top 5 teams learned how to play Sombra really good all of a sudden, they're just gonna be competing against the non-top Sombra team to see who wins. If Sombra's still meta, we don't know if he's gonna be. They also might all of a sudden be oh yeah, Atlanta, we're gonna change the meta right before the World, and good luck. And we don't know. I hope it's gonna. I like Atlanta. I hope they win. I don't like Sombra though. So
no, exactly.
But I
would like to see them outside of a Sombra meta. I'd like to see because the best teams can do it in multiple metas.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see them play something different and still be as dominant.
Yeah. It's just they know Sombra's broken, so why play something?
Right.
Because
You have
you're
the
the
best
best.
Sombra, yeah.
Yeah, why try something different? Like they have no reason to. Like
No.
you're not gonna diff us on a Sombra game. That's just not how it's gonna go. I will say I do think Atlanta's good enough to literally be not a Sombra meta and still be the best.
I agree.
I do think Atlanta's good enough. Like, you count the backline, they've been best even when it wasn't Sombra meta. It doesn't
Right.
matter. They're championship winners and they're literally haven't lost games. Like
Yep.
it doesn't matter. Like then it's like unless Winston, just because Sombra might not be meta doesn't mean Winston won't be meta. And they still have a great Winston player, and Donghawk's still there. He's not gonna instantly forget how to play with his support backline because Sombra's not a thing anymore.
We also didn't mention that Stalker is one of the best players in the world right now. Just because how stacked they are, that someone slipped aside, and Stalker is still the best, one of the best players in the world. Him in the playoffs was playing lights out, and that's crazy when you're playing next to Lip and you're still shining. Not saying that he was out playing Lip or who was out, but they were playing so well together that they were both just dominant.
It's crazy to say because, like you said, Stalker really is one of the best DPSs in the world, and I feel like it's not his meta; it's just his team's meta, and he's just there like, I'll just play whatever I need. Just tell me what you need. I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not his meta, and he's still on the winning team. He's just that good.
What a scary team, man.
Yeah, Atlanta's fantastic. Atlanta's fantastic. They don't need to change. There's no need to change.
No.
If they change, it'd be dropping the two they don't play.
Yeah.
If it's Atlantic and Hawk, and it's like, why? You probably don't even need to do that. Just have someone in there.
Yep. You just keep it chugging. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about them.
Yep. Just carry them to the championship. You'll be done. You don't have to. Don't worry about it. But I think that's all
That's every team, man.
Yeah.
That felt like a good talk.
Yeah. Like you said, Atlanta's probably S plus, Houston's and Mayhem, maybe Spark S. Mm-hmm. Then it's like Infernal, Charge, Boston, Washington A, Shock, Glads, London, Toronto, maybe Vancouver B, and then Dallas, Dynasty, Shanghai, NYXL, Valiant, Vegas. Is C Chengdu D? Because
no, Chengdu's S plus plus.
S plus, yeah, S plus plus.
Just because they have won, they still haven't lost. You have to remember that as well.
We don't know their roster. They might have the best roster in the world.
I'm telling you, I haven't seen any leaks. They kept it a secret.
Kept it a secret. Such a fantastic team. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's great.
I'll close it out for us, sir. It was always a pleasure to speak to you every week.
Provide
these episodes. We appreciate all the support we've got so far. Above his head and mine, you can see our most known socials that you'd like to follow if you want to keep up with us. Mm-hmm. And until next time, I'm Vex. This has been Tusk. It's been another Pod-Diff. Thank you.
Bye.